You're here because you're tired of being the invisible guy, the friend-zoned nice guy, the one who always finishes last while watching other men effortlessly attract women. What if I told you there's a fundamental misunderstanding about what actually makes women chase men? It's not about looks, money, or even being a good guy. It's about something far more primal, something we'll call unapologetic masculinity. This isn't about being an asshole. This isn't about manipulation. This is about understanding the raw, biological triggers of female attraction that most men will never grasp because they're too busy following society's polite rules of courtship. The truth is, women don't want polite. They don't want safe. They want a man who stirs something deep inside them, something they can't explain, but can't resist either. Picture this scenario. Two men walk into a bar. The first is perfectly groomed, wearing expensive clothes, immediately buying drinks for women, laughing at all their jokes. The second is slightly disheveled, not particularly handsome, occasionally glancing at his phone, completely unfazed by the women around him. Which one do you think women will approach? If you said the first guy, you're dead wrong. Women will flock to the second man because he radiates something irresistible, indifference. Not the fake indifference of pickup artists, but genuine self-assurance that says, I don't need your approval. This is the paradox of attraction that most men never understand. The more you try to impress a woman, the less impressed she becomes. The more you make her feel like she has to earn your attention, the more she'll fight to get it. This isn't some game, it's human nature. We value what we have to work for, and women are no exception. Now let's talk about conversation. Most men make the fatal mistake of treating every interaction with a woman like a job interview. They ask polite questions, give safe answers, and wonder why she loses interest after 5 minutes. Here's the brutal truth. Women don't remember polite conversations. They remember the ones that made them feel something, even if that something was irritation or surprise. The key is to break patterns, to say what other men are afraid to say, to refuse to play by the usual rules of interaction. Imagine you're talking to a woman who mentions she's a lawyer. The average guy would say something like, "Wow, that's impressive." You know what she hears? The same thing she's heard 1,000 times before. Now imagine you say, "So you get paid to argue? No wonder you're single." Suddenly, you've done 3 powerful things. You've teased her, creating emotional engagement. You've implied she's attractive without directly complimenting her. And most importantly, you've stood out from every other guy she's met. This isn't about being rude. It's about being real in a way that most men are too scared to be. The magic happens when you combine this unfiltered communication with complete emotional independence. Most men make the mistake of putting women on pedestals, treating them like prizes to be won rather than equals to engage with. The moment you start caring more about what a woman thinks of you than what you think of yourself, you've already lost. True attraction begins when you become the prize, not through arrogance, but through genuine self-worth that doesn't require external validation. Here's where most dating advice gets it wrong. They'll tell you to play games, to wait certain amounts of time before texting back, to follow arbitrary rules. That's all garbage. The real secret is developing an unshakable sense of self where you don't need any particular woman's approval. When you reach that point, something fascinating happens. Women can sense it, and they're drawn to it like moths to a flame. It's not about pretending not to care. It's about genuinely having better things to do than obsess over someone you just met. Physical escalation is another area where men fail spectacularly. They either move too fast, coming across as desperate, or too slow, coming across as timid. The key is to lead with confidence, to make moves without hesitation or apology, but also without expectation. A simple test: If you're wondering whether you should kiss her, you've already waited too long. Attraction isn't built through words alone. It's created through physical tension that most men are too afraid to initiate. Let's talk about texting, the graveyard of male attraction. Most men destroy any spark through endless, boring text conversations that go nowhere. Here's a radical idea. Use your phone to set dates, not to have conversations. Every pointless text exchange is another nail in the coffin of her attraction. Women don't fall in love through screens. They fall in love through experiences, through the way you make them feel in person. The more you text, the more ordinary you become. The less available you are digitally, the more intriguing you become in reality. Now we come to the most important point: outcome independence. This is the holy grail of attraction that most men will never achieve because it requires genuine personal development, not just memorized techniques. When you truly don't care whether a particular woman likes you or not, when her approval or rejection doesn't affect your self-worth, that's when you become irresistible. Not because you're playing hard to get, but because you actually are hard to get, not in an arrogant way, but in a "I have a fulfilling life with or without you" way. This is why women chase some men and ignore others. It's not about looks or money, it's about energy. It's about that intangible quality that says, "I'm completely comfortable in my own skin, and your opinion doesn't define me." That's what triggers a woman's competitive nature. That's what makes her wonder, why isn't he chasing me like other guys do? And once that question enters her mind, the chase begins. The tragedy is that most men will never understand this. They'll keep buying drinks, keep pretending to be interested in things they don't care about, keep molding themselves into what they think women want, and they'll keep getting ignored, getting friend-zoned, getting frustrated. Meanwhile, the men who get it, who understand that attraction isn't about supplication but about self-possession, will have women pursuing them without even trying. This isn't about becoming someone you're not. It's about becoming the best version of who you already are, unapologetically. It's about developing the kind of self-assurance that makes people lean in when you speak. It's about caring less about what women think while paradoxically becoming more attractive to them. That's the secret. That's what makes her chase you. And once you truly embody this mindset, you'll never have to chase a woman again.